In September 2024, a little-known venture called Network School opened its doors inside Forest City, a half-empty artificial island megaproject on Malaysia's southern coast. Within 2 years, it had grown from roughly 150 members to several hundred, drawing software engineers, crypto builders, and self-described network state enthusiasts from more than 70 countries. By July 2026, it was gone, its business license revoked, its premises sealed by city enforcement officers, and its founder already announcing a replacement campus in Kazakhstan. What happened in between is a story about immigration politics, regulatory enforcement, and a fringe but influential ideology about replacing nation-states with private, tech-run communities. This report walks through what Network School actually was, how the controversy unfolded in Malaysia, and whether similar projects have run into trouble elsewhere. Network School was a private, live-in co-living and co-working community, not an accredited school or university. Its own branding described the experience with the motto "Learn, Burn, Earn, Fun." Members took part in skill-building sessions, fitness routines, deep work blocks, talks, and startup demo days, all on one campus. Membership cost roughly $1,000 to $2,000 a month, depending on whether residents shared a room, and stays typically ran anywhere from a single cohort of a few months to much longer. It was pitched less as a school in the conventional sense, and more as a working prototype of founder Balaji Srinivasan's network state thesis. The idea that a community organized first online, around shared values and technology, could eventually take on a physical footprint and function, something like a country of its own. Forest City, built by Chinese developer Country Garden and long criticized as a commercially failed ghost city, offered cheap, underused real estate that made the experiment financially feasible. Network School's founder, Balaji Srinivasan, is a Stanford-trained engineer with a resume spanning biotech, venture capital, and crypto. He was Coinbase's first chief technology officer, an early investor in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and a general partner at the venture firm Andreessen Horowitz. In 2022, he published The Network State, a manifesto arguing that internet-native communities could eventually negotiate for diplomatic recognition and territory, becoming alternatives to traditional nations. Network School was his attempt to test that idea in physical form. He announced it in August 2024 with a social media post claiming the group had secured a beautiful island near Singapore. A description that was technically true. Forest City sits on reclaimed land visible from Singapore, but generous, since what was actually leased was space inside a struggling private development, not sovereign territory. The trouble began with a claim, not a confirmed fact. Social media users alleged that Israeli nationals had taken part in Network School programs by entering Malaysia on passports from other countries. This mattered because Malaysia has no diplomatic relations with Israel, and Israeli passport holders generally cannot enter without special approval. The claim spread quickly and pulled in Johor's state government, the Ministry of Home Affairs, and the Immigration Department, while drawing international press attention. Johor's chief minister, Hafiz Ghazi, called for a full investigation. Immigration officials eventually identified 430 people with links to Network School, 210 still in the country, 201 who had already left, and 19 unaccounted for, raising the possibility that some had departed illegally. After 2 rounds of checks on hundreds of foreign residents, however, immigration authorities said they found no evidence of wrongdoing and no confirmed Israeli nationals among them. That should have closed the matter, but it didn't, because the scrutiny surfaced a separate, more concrete problem: licensing violations. The Iskandar Puteri City Council, MBIP, found that Network School's operating company, NSO Malaysia SDN BHD, had breached the terms of its business license, including operating a co-working space created by merging 2 units without proper approval. On July 21, 2026, MBIP revoked the license outright and ordered all activity at the Forest City premises to stop by the next day. Enforcement officers physically sealed the site the following morning. Malaysia's Digital Economy Agency, MDEC, also began revoking the company's Malaysia Digital Status, a designation that had given it tax incentives and hiring privileges. Srinivasan initially dismissed shutdown reports as fake news, saying the company had received only 2 minor notices, one about signage wording, one about the co-working space. He also pushed back on the immigration sweep, arguing that anonymous, unverified claims shouldn't have triggered a raid, and said the company had invested more than $100 million, $21 million, into the campus and employed dozens of Malaysians. He briefly threatened to redirect a further $500 million in planned investment elsewhere if Malaysia didn't want it. The threat didn't change the outcome. Within hours of the shutdown, he announced a memorandum of understanding to open a new network school campus in Kazakhstan instead, with promises of expedited visas and streamlined relocation for members. Reactions split fairly sharply along expected lines. Supporters and neutral observers point out that immigration checks found no proof of the original Israeli nationals' claim, that the venture had brought genuine foreign investment and local jobs, and that small Forest City businesses, restaurants, barbers, mini-markets, benefited from the spending of hundreds of resident members and now stand to lose that income. From this view, Network School was a legitimate, if unconventional, private business caught up in a moral panic sparked by unverified social media claims. Critics raise 2 separate concerns. The narrower one is procedural. Licensing and premises use violations are real regulatory failures, whatever triggered the scrutiny that found them. The broader one is ideological. Srinivasan's network state concept explicitly aims to build communities that operate outside and eventually independent of existing national governments. Malaysian commentators and some international outlets argued this framing of a private, foreign-led enclave with its own culture and rules operating inside national territory raised legitimate sovereignty concerns regardless of the passport allegations. Some more polemical commentary has gone further, characterizing the project and its ideology in much harsher terms. That framing is contested and reflects one side of a genuinely divided debate rather than settled fact. Network School itself is a young project with only one prior physical home, Forest City, before its pivot to Kazakhstan, which was announced too recently to have a track record of its own. So there isn't yet a history of Network School running into trouble in multiple countries the way the Malaysia episode did. But the broader model it belongs to, privately run charter cities, or semi-autonomous zones for tech and crypto communities, has a longer and more contentious history elsewhere, most visibly in Prospera, Honduras. Launched in 2017 on the island of Rotan with backing from investors including Peter Thiel, Prospera operates its own legal system, courts, and low-tax regime under Honduras's ZEED Special Economic Zone law. It became the target of sustained controversy. The Honduran government repealed the ZEED law in 2022, calling the zones a sale of territory that undermined national sovereignty, and Honduras's Supreme Court later declared the entire framework unconstitutional. The United Nations separately raised concerns that ZEEDs could end up controlling roughly a third of the country's territory and pose risks to human rights. Prospera responded by filing a multi-billion-dollar international arbitration claim against Honduras, a dispute that remains unresolved. Nearby communities also complained about disputes over water access early in the project's life. The parallel isn't perfect. Prospera is a legally distinct special economic zone with its own courts, while Network School was a co-living business operating under ordinary Malaysian commercial licenses. But both sit under the same broader network state, or charter city umbrella, and both ran into the same underlying tension. Host governments and local communities becoming uneasy about privately governed, foreign-led enclaves operating on their soil. Kazakhstan, by contrast, has been actively courting this kind of project, including plans for its own crypto city near Astana, which is presumably why Srinivasan found a faster welcome there. Is Network School okay? On paper, it was a legal, privately funded co-living and co-working venture. Not a scam and not, per Malaysia's own investigators, a proven vehicle for illegal immigration. The specific allegation that ignited the firestorm was never substantiated, but the scrutiny it invited exposed genuine licensing and premises use violations, which is what actually ended its run in Malaysia, and it operates under an ideology, replacing or bypassing traditional national governance. That predictably makes host governments and local communities nervous, as it has with comparable projects like Prospera in Honduras. Whether Kazakhstan proves more hospitable, or whether the same sovereignty and oversight tensions resurface there remains to be seen. For now, Network School's Malaysia chapter stands as a cautionary tale about what happens when a build first, ask permission later, tech ethos runs into a country's immigration politics and municipal licensing rules at the same time. And that's the story of Network School, how a private tech commune sparked a national controversy, ran into Malaysia's immigration and licensing rules, and packed up for Kazakhstan. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think. Is this the future of network states, or just another tech dream running into the real world?